guys, Mike with bkboatandsleds.com here. Today I'm going to show you how to replace a bearing or service your bearings, and this would also be the first step in putting brakes on the trailer as well. First what I want to do is remove the tire. Obviously make sure the trailer is jacked up and properly secured. Your next step, whether you have a bearing buddy or a cap here, is going to be to remove that. That comes off, and there's one or two ways that these are on here. If you get rid of the grease, you can tell this one's on by a cotter pin. Sometimes there is just a flat tab that bends over in between these, in between the nut there, what's called the castle nut. But either way, either bend the tab over or get rid of the cotter pin. Cotter pin's out, this castle nut will come right off. Shouldn't be very tight, might have to loosen it with a wrench if it's tight, but there should be some play in there. And pull the hub, there should be a washer here too. Washer out, pull the bearing out and the hub off. This bearing will come off. To get this one out, you'll need to remove that seal and the bearings inside there. You can either replace all this, clean these, re-grease them. I'll show you how to pack them in another video. And this would be also the step to add brakes. Today I'm going to show you how to properly pack a wheel bearing and reinstall new seals on a trailer hub. This one specifically has brakes on it. If you're looking to put brakes on your trailer, there's another how-to video with how to install brakes. Regardless if you've got a brake hub or a regular hub, this procedure will be the same. What you want to do is take, this is the outer bearing, the inner one I should say, put it tapered side down in this bearing packer and push on it. Once the grease comes out the top side of the bearing, it has been properly packed all the way through. So it should be coming from the smaller side, out here, and more importantly, out the edges here. So go ahead and set it in your hub or your drum. Here's the seal. These you want to make sure they go in straight, otherwise you'll damage them. To do that, I've got a bearing seal race driver kit. If you don't have one of these, you can find a socket head that's big enough, half-inch drive socket that's big enough to overlap everything, and you can use it as well. Tap it down until it's flush, which that is. That one's all set. Next side will be the same thing except for there's no seal. This one I'll show you how to do if you don't have this particular style bearing packer. What you want to do is put some grease in your hands, and from the larger side in, just go around and keep packing the grease from the back side in. You want to keep packing it all the way around until it comes out the front side. It takes a little time. This is not how you pack a bearing. A lot of people think you pack them by rolling them on the sides. It doesn't do you any good. You want to pack it from the back side in. Keep redistributing the grease until it comes out this front seal. Make sure you've got no air pockets. And once that's all set, it's ready to be put on the axle. And we'll show you that in the video. You're ready to reassemble your hub and or add brakes. For this assembly, I'm going to add brakes. Now, to know I can add brakes, there's this flange here with 4 bolts on it. I am adding electric brakes. Here's the drum assembly, the backing plate I should say. Notice it says left hand on it. This is a left hand side, and the magnet, this portion always goes towards the bottom. What you're going to do is line it up to the 4 holes, Got your 4 nuts there, locking nuts. Go ahead and tighten those down. When tightening these, you want to go back and forth diagonal. Tighten this one, this one, this one, this one. Just like you would tighten a tire on a car. Make sure the thing gets seated properly. So your next step is to put the hub assembly on. So we've already packed the bearings, which you've seen in the other video. So we've got bearing packed with the seal already on. So we can go ahead and put this on, carefully making sure not to damage the seal. And that's on. Go ahead and put your front bearing on, your outer bearing. Should be a washer here. And then your castle nut. And what I like to do is tighten this down tight with a wrench once and make sure everything's seated. And then what you do is you'll back it off to the closest hole and you'll install your cotter pin. And once your cotter pin's installed, you can go ahead and grease up your axle. This has got what they call an easy lube axle. So it actually delivers grease from inside, and you'll know it's greased. This fitting isn't doing the best, but you'll know it's greased. Get a different fitting. You know it's greased when the grease starts coming out from behind that washer. So you can see it coming out from around the edges. That is when you know it is fully greased. And at this point, you can go ahead and put your new axle cap on, your dust cap. If you were good and you're able to save the old one, sometimes the cotter pin gets in the way here. There you go. And you're all set. So now you've got brakes on it, and if there is a little play in here, that's okay. This one's pretty tight, but if there's a little play, that is normal. You don't want too much, but just an 1/8 inch or so. And next we'll show you how to wire up the brakes and the brake controller.